Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, sheep. I was building something a little bit earlier today with pistons that were really close together, and I was having trouble controlling them independently. And I also had a lot of trouble finding an explanation of how pistons get powered and depowered and extend and retract. And so I thought I'd put together a little video explaining exactly what the rules are so that the next time you want to do a project with pistons, you can understand how to get them powered properly. So that's what we're going to do. Now the first thing to understand is that pistons can be extended or retracted, and they can be powered or unpowered. Most of the time, when they're powered, they're also extended. So for example, when we power this piston, it extends, and when we depower it, it retracts. But it's actually not always the case. So it may not look like it, but this retracted piston is actually powered. And we can demonstrate that that's true by doing what's called a block update. I'm sure you've heard the term before. If we make any change to any of the blocks that are touching the piston, so above, below, or to any side, then this piston will extend because it's powered. So just for example, if we touch there, it will extend. And this piston is not powered, even though it's extended. And again, any block update, so making a change above, below, or to any of the sides, even to any of the sides of the extended arm, will cause it to retract. So we can demonstrate that, for example. So we'll be talking independently in this video about how to power the piston and how to make it get updated. So here we go. So here are all the ways that you can power a piston. The first way is to have redstone leading directly into the piston. So this one is definitely the most obvious of all. Okay. And the only trick here is that the redstone has to be pointing at the piston. So for example, if it points off to the side, when you power it, the piston won't get powered. And we might wonder whether it's powered but not updated, and we can see that's not the case. So it really isn't powered if the redstone isn't pointing directly at it. Although we should say that the graphics for a lone piece of redstone can be a little bit deceptive. It looks like it's not pointing directly at the piston, but it actually is. We can demonstrate that by powering. What we're going to do is power this redstone dust by powering this block with a repeater. So you can see the redstone dust is powered and it extends, even though it's doesn't look like it's pointing directly in. In fact, a piece of dust like this is pointing in every direction. So not up, but every horizontal direction. Okay. Cool. So redstone dust leading directly into a piston. And there is one exception, which is it has to be leading directly into a gray side of the piston. So the piston can be pointing any direction except at the redstone. So if we aim this piston at the redstone, then it won't be powered. And it's not just missing a block update, like it really isn't powered. Okay, good. The second way you can power a piston is by aiming a repeater at the block above the piston. Okay. And the third and final way that you can power a block is by powering any of the blocks around it or a little bit above it. So I'll show you exactly which blocks you can do. Right, so as before, above, below, or to any side works. So any of these places. And additionally, there's a funny set of places that you can also power that will power the block, which are these ones. Okay, so it's a little bit hard to see where the piston is, so I'm going to cut away this side. Okay, so as you can see, you can go below to the sides, above, and also these three extra, which are diagonally away, above and to the side, and 2 spaces above. Okay, so we'll demonstrate each of those in turn. And as before, as with the redstone dust, there's one exception, which is wherever the piston is facing, you can't power that side. So we can power here, but we can't power it here. Okay, it's not powered. But you can power below on any side. Including the top. And then we'll get these 3 funny positions. So what's funny about them is it's powered now, but it hasn't received a block update yet. All the other positions, when you power or depower something sitting right next to the piston, it automatically gets a block update. But this position doesn't get a block update, so you have to give it a special one. You have to give it one manually. Okay, or by doing some toggle of power or any other way you can do a block update. You can look at other videos for a complete list of those. Okay. So yes, and this one 2 spaces above is similar. It will power the piston but not update it. So you have to update it yourself. Okay, so that's everything. Those are all the ways that a piston can be powered. And so now you should be able to explain all the behavior of the pistons you see with a little bit of thought. And just for fun, if you'd like, you can hang around. I'll give you a little quiz by asking you what will happen if I put redstone in particular spots. So here we go. I'm going to pull up some red wool. Let's see. Let's replace X. Okay. Cool. So here's the question. The first question. Suppose I put a redstone block here. Which pistons will extend? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it before I put the redstone in. Okay, ready? Here we go. Did you get it right? I hope so. So this one is powered because it has a block below. This one has one to the side. Likewise this one. This one has one above. And these bottom 3 are powered in the funny way. So this one is powered by the block by having power 2 blocks above. This one is powered by having one above and to the right. And likewise this one is powered by having one above and to the left. Now you might be wondering why they extended at all. You might understand why they're powered now, but you might wonder why they're extended. The reason they extended is because when these ones extended, they caused a block update. So if we were to, first of all, get rid of these and put some grass in their place, for example, then you can see these wouldn't extend right away. They'd wait until there was a block update to extend. Oops. Okay, and if I hadn't screwed this one up, it would do that too. Right? Good. Okay, next puzzle. I'm going to be putting, again, in the middle, but now one block behind. Which of these pistons do you think will extend? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. Ready? Here we go. Did you get it right? Hope so. This time there's a little bit less funny business about the diagonals, because there's only one block that's diagonal from this. And it's this one. And there aren't any pistons too below here. If there were, they'd extend. Okay. Next puzzle. What happens if I put a redstone block here? Ready? Nothing changed. Actually, this one got powered, but it didn't update yet. If we blow away that block. Okay. Now you might recognize this puzzle. It's the same as the first puzzle, except now we're looking up. So suppose I put a redstone block here. Which pistons will extend? Ready? The ones to the side, and that's it. This puzzle is the same, except we're going to be putting the redstone just a little bit higher. It's still right in the middle, but above this piston here. Which ones will extend? Ready? Same ones as before, plus the middle one. Are you surprised? I was the first time I did this, even though I had worked out the rules already. What's going on is this one is above and to the right of the ones around it. It's diagonal. Okay? So these are powered, and again, if we take this away, they won't retract until they get a block update. Okay. Puzzle's almost exactly the same. I'm going to be putting it in the middle still, but this time one higher yet. Okay, so there's only one block in between. Okay. Which things do you think will extend? Ready? Here we go. Did you get it right? It's kind of a trick question. Actually, this one is powered but not yet extended, which we can see by asking it to update. None of these other ones are, though. Okay. Same question, this time from above instead of below. What happens if I put a redstone here? By now you should think this is pretty easy. You ready? What if I put one here? Ready? Uh-huh. These are actually powered, but they haven't been updated yet. None of the other ones. Ooh. That was exciting. None of these other ones are powered, though. Just the ones around it. Do you know why they went down? The answer there is because when we break this, it's next to this extended arm, which counts as part of the piston. So the piston gets updated. Do you remember why the middle one doesn't extend when we put the block here? Okay, next puzzle. What happens if I put a redstone block in the middle but below? Ready? How'd you do? Think there's any that are powered but not yet updated? Nope. Okay. This puzzle is very like the last one, except there's a block in between. Okay? So it's only one block, but there's one in between. So it's in the middle and one block below. What will happen? Ready? Think there's any powered but unupdated ones? Let's check. Okay. Hope you got it right. How about this one? I'm going to break the redstone block. Which of these there's nothing behind. Which of these extended pistons will retract when I do that? Ready? This one retracted because the block update of breaking the redstone block happened. This one retracted because for the same reason. And this one retracted because the one above it retracted and caused it to block update. Neither of these retracted because there's nothing around them that changed, except diagonally, and diagonally doesn't count for block updates. Here's another setup. I've got some redstone dust coming over this dirt here, and nothing else. What will happen when I flip the switch? Ready? So you may wonder why this bottom one extended, and perhaps these two as well. The top one should be no surprise because the dust is certainly powered and it's 2 blocks above this one. So this should definitely be powered, although maybe it's a surprise that it extended because maybe there was no block update. But this one is maybe a little bit of a surprise because it seems to be 3 blocks away from the dust. Well, the answer is that powered redstone dust also powers the block below it. So this dirt is also powered, and that explains why these 3 got powered. As for the block update, that happened because when the dirt block got powered, it experienced a block update. When I turn this off, it'll experience a block update going from powered to unpowered, and these will all retract. Here's a similar setup. I've got some redstone dust and some dirt connected to the very middle piston. Which of these will turn on when I flip the lever? Ready? Did you get it right? I hope you were paying attention. This goes all the way back to the beginning of the video. The top one turned on because the redstone dust is pointing at it. The next one turned on for 2 reasons, because the redstone dust is powered and because this block is powered. And the bottom one turned on because the dirt is powered and it's diagonally away from it. And because there was a block update from the one above it extending. Here's a similar setup to before, except instead of redstone dust, there's a repeater. Ready? This time, the one at the bottom didn't turn on. It's not just powered but unupdated. That's because the redstone repeater doesn't power the block below it. You might wonder why this one extended, the bottom of the 2. Since the redstone repeater doesn't count as a powered block, and the dirt below it doesn't count as a powered block. The answer is that this is just a special case. As we mentioned at the beginning, one of the ways to power a piston is to aim a repeater at the block above it. We can demonstrate that a repeater doesn't count as a powered block for the purposes of pistons by putting pistons at other places around the repeater and watching and seeing that they don't extend. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions about how things behave.